Again, it's a hard-fought game. We're very fortunate. Defensively, I know, Purdue did a nice job with some things that made it hard for us. It was tough sledding. We didn't turn the ball over. We had the one fumble there with Tevin in the punt return. But we didn't, Xander managed the passing game. Didn't throw it great, but managed it well. Defensively, I thought it was an awesome effort. First half, they didn't get much help. The way they battled gave us a chance to be in the game because I think a couple of skill guys for Purdue are awfully special, good, and they played very, very well. So I think that first half defensive effort was awesome. We decided at half, I actually asked the kids, and but went into the staff. We decided to give them the ball, and of course we had to give them the ball, but we gave them the win for the third quarter because we thought we needed it for the fourth. I thought the way we played the third quarter and basically played on the south end of the field. The wind was coming from the south all day, so to do a good job, and that's all phases. That was offensive execution. It was defensive getting stops. It was kicking game. That was huge because we gambled because we thought we needed it at the end because it wasn't that big a deal, but it was tough sledding. It's a decision we made. You've seen us play some halves where we didn't come out and play a good second half, so I thought that third quarter was huge, and I think just proud of the seniors. Just a group of guys battled hard. Good group. Yeah, he's getting plays. I mean, the real thing with that injury wasn't Sudfeld as much as Covington because we lost two guys, and you give 60-40, 70-30 reps to your 1 and 2. And as we came out of preseason, Xander at the time became third. So, and not that he was third best, but then also he got 0 reps. So there's not enough practice hours by rule. We only get so many times, so many plays. So he started slow, but he's got a lot of. I think Mr. Fisher called him spunky the other day on our show. He's got some grit. He's tough. He's competitive. He's growing up. He's got a long way to go. Been nice not to have played him this year, but the way he battled gave us some chances in games, and for sure gave us a chance to win that game today.
Kevin, you're on both line of scrimmages, defensively and offensively. You really picked it up in the second half. What was the key there?
I thought the defense was really good in the first half, but the offense wasn't. Now, they kind of played when you talk about loading the box, they loaded it with a front 4 and 3 backers and just played, I got you, I got you, I got you, in a single safety. And we had a hard time getting movement to block a guy into trash, to block a guy into the linebacker level. So the linebackers were free, or penetration killed us in the first half, and we basically, got whipped. We didn't have a real big deal, except we just made our adjustments. We think these are the runs we need to go to, and we need to start blocking. And that was really all. And then we need to make some pass plays. And that's all we talked about at halftime. But we got beat in the first half. They kicked our tails up front. That was huge, though, especially that last couple drives to get us down and get the win we needed.
I think maybe you were just looking to get some tough yards and center a potential game-winning field goal, but D'Angelo looked like the Bloomington kid who wanted to win a bucket there. He got you.
Yeah, he did it. He did it in Missouri. It's kind of good because he got that concussion a week ago, and Tevin's had a big year and some numbers. And sometimes, and again, when he gets a little tired, we got to take him out. It's just the way it is. And quite honestly, he was in there at the end because Tevin was, again, he had 29 carries, and that's kind of on his high end of the plate. And he was a little bit tired. He got loose with the ball because he was tired, and that cost us. But it was kind of, even with the team as one of the Comets team, is great for a kid. I think that's come a long way. He's got a long way to go because he's grown up a lot. But there's so much more growing that I'd love to see him accomplish as a young man. But to finish with him making a few plays was kind of cool because Tevin's had his he's had his day in his son. It was nice, like in Missouri, for D'Lo to be a part of that because again, that's that kid could be at a lot of places other than here. It's been difficult for him to do the things he needed to be a good player and be a good student, and every day sometimes it's a little bit of a fight, and he keeps growing and growing and growing. And I respect this senior class. A lot of people would have cashed it in. These guys didn't. He's a big reason. Yeah. One, he's really good and special, and I think he gets a little better blocking than people want to give him credit for. But again, I wouldn't know if I was, you kind of look at Keg always wants to throw all them stats at me and da-da-da-da-da. The one stat's the W. And I think it was more about that. So I didn't want him. Shane, what he came up with, 2 short of all-time receiving records. So we could have flipped the bubble. And we need to win the game. And so it wasn't about, we were going to give that guy his carries. And, he got his 2,000 yards the last couple of weeks, getting 300, 200. So that was a stat that just mathematically was, that wasn't the focus today. It wasn't about that, and it wasn't trying to get Shane his quote, a couple more catches. Sometimes in the offense it comes your way and not, and he had a great game for us today, and he actually fought through a little foot injury he had there in the first half. So we don't get consumed with, I mean, we've put up a year ago we put up every passing stat in the school's history, and today, by the end of the day, I think we got almost most running stats. The real stats, W's, and we're excited that we won the bucket. We're excited we beat our rival. We're excited that our seniors leave the right way. We're disappointed we only had 4 W's because our deal is we need to win games, and I know Tevin would tell you that. He likes the yards, but he loves winning more than the yards, and we need to get more W's. It'll be, and again, it's kind of been a bit of a flurry because I'm always complaining to coaches, you're watching too much tape and worried about the game plan because we've been grinding to get this defense up to speed. It was nice. What do we have today? 300 and 350 total offense. So that's a couple, we're getting better defensively. It's been a struggle with quarterback and finding ways to get the run game going when you know the box is going to be loaded and you're limited with your pass options right now, what we're doing. And we've talked some recruiting. We've got a few guys on visits this weekend. We had a number of quality players here today. A number of our committed guys are here. We'll kind of kick into that. I think the only thing that's got us in recruiting is because the year hadn't went as well as you wanted. You get all that -5 in speculation. And reality is we got a good football team that's been pretty close. It's coming. And I know our school's made a commitment to give us a chance to build the team you need. And the thing I don't like is the seniors leave not having maybe the personal W's and bowl opportunities you want for our fan base. But for the standard that they've set of building the program and the way recruiting's going, we've had 2 good years. We expect to have another good year. We're going to win some and lose some because we're going to go after good guys there. But then right now, everybody just, there was a time when I don't know if guys wanted some of our dudes. So trust me, I mean, recruiting is, we recruit legal, but it is a free-for-all. They copy and paste all your articles and send them to kids. Well, here's what they say about the guys. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, it is, you're fighting negativity all the time. In reality, we got a program that's been very, very close. It's coming. I think we stood a pretty good gut shot this year. We need 1 and 2 more good classes to back it up. And I think this will be a huge year for this program in recruiting because if we can back up a core with the seniors coming back, we lose some good seniors and whatnot, but with the guys coming back, the youthfulness of the freshman, sophomore talent, if we can put the class we need together, it's going to be pretty good. It'll be a complete full class. It'll be 25. You can't sign more. We can't go backwards. We need some tackle and D-line length. We need some perimeter speed and corner outside linebacker. We need improvement at receiver. We're losing 1 running back. I think, and everybody will say what Tevin ought to do. What Tevin ought to do now is go through the process of finding out his draft status. Because this is a mature decision because the guys that don't make it in the NFL don't make it because they're immature. So it ain't like first guy out gets picked first. The deadline's January 12, 13, 14. You go through the process. He needs to eval being a great college football player and the value of why Melvin Gordon comes back, why Anthony Thompson being an all-time, the value of that. He needs to value the health value of his body. He needs to look at the stuff. There's all kinds of things. So everybody, again, it's all speculation and negativity sometime, and because we don't win as much as we need to. That's a fact. But reality is he's a great player. This is a good program. It took a gut shot. And, Matt, we're going to need a strong class. It's going to have balance. We had some good young defensive guys last year. We'll look JC-wise, maybe at a couple offensive skill positions. We don't need JC backups. That JC deal's a 50-50. And so sometimes it's better to get a good high school kid. We want the best kids in the state here. We're hitting it tomorrow. I got a team meeting at 2. I'll be somewhere tomorrow night. Everybody's sitting tomorrow. We got a few official visits. But you guys that cover recruiting, keep after it because we've shown we can recruit. We're going to develop these young guys. We've shown we can get kids to buy in and believe. We're going to keep developing. We're going to keep building. And I'm just disappointed for the seniors, but proud of what they did for us.
Real quick about Michael Hunter was a guy that I thought really played well.
Last two games.
Yeah, and I saw that he was on a list to go ahead.
And that was his choice, and we kind of talked about, is that what you really want to do? Because my thing is, now don't come back just to get your grad school paid for. You got to be, if you come back as a senior, there's a standard. There's a standard, like we talked about, like our standard for celebrate night, not rules, our standards. So there's a standard, and we've talked about that. And at the same time, he hadn't signed a pro contract. So I kind of, if you want to consider, it's good, but what do you want to do? You know the workload, you know the situation, what do you want to do? Kenny Mullen initially said Kenny Mullen says he's coming back. And so I think that one might have made the list that got on the one deal. Again, it's not, unless you sign a pro contract, those guys have eligibility. They know what's going to happen Monday morning because the season 15 kind of gets started, and maybe it's recovery, rehab, refurbishing. They'll know what happens January 12th, the first day when school's, and they know this. So it's a huge commitment to play, and some of those guys just based on the rules. I mean, this is a 4-year bust your tail, and if you want the 5th year, it's up to you. And again, Michael, I think he's got some mixed deals, but I don't know. I mean, right now, we're not talking. If I talk a guy, if I'm convincing a guy to play, that don't work, because I respect him. He's been a great player. He's been awesome off. He's a tremendous student. He'll be all academic Big Ten here next week when he comes out. He's an awesome guy. He's an awesome man. He's played well, and we kind of given him the as we've given them all. And we don't need a scholarship. We're going to sign a full class. Regardless, we're going to sign 25 guys.
Staff changes in the offseason, or?
Well, I don't know. Somebody always comes and goes and leaves. And, like Jeff Sims, our recruiting guy, took the head job at Garden City. He's a former JC head coach at Fort Scott. He's been at several places. He's awesome. We'll move Cody Rager, who was a pro scout last 2 years and was down at Alabama, into our lead recruiting spot, and he's already in-house, so it's not a huge deal. And we'll go get an assistant deal there with that. But there's always, if a guy gets an opportunity. But I'll say this, they know the administration's got our back. I think they feel good about it. I feel good about Coach Norton and the defensive guys. Love Coach Johns. I've got to do a better job offensively because I'm a big part of that. And I think as we get going and the defense get more consistent, I'll do a better job. So I think guys will come after our guys because we've got some good coaches. But I think there's children here, there's kids here, they love it here, and I think they're convinced we're going to be good. So if they leave, it's because of a good opportunity. If Tevin's leaving, it's a good opportunity. Staying here and playing football here is not going to be a bad deal either. So those guys, if anyone's moving on, it's for a good opportunity, and we're going to move this recruiting and keep building the team for you guys.